Hi, good afternoon or morning, depending on when you're doing this. I just wanted to let you know we're working on pyramids and cones today. So I'll give you a practice activity after this movie to work on pyramids and cones. There's the square or rectangular pyramid, and then there's the triangular pyramid. And then we have a regular cone. With all of these, especially the pyramids, we are working with that big B. So when you're working with a square pyramid, the base is always a square. If you're working with a rectangular pyramid, it is a rectangle. We find the area of that base by length times width or base times base. So I'm going to go ahead, and let you know I'm going to change that to length and width. Length times width. Length, width. There we go. And then the triangular pyramid is 1/3 times base times height. Again, big B stands for the area of the base. I highlighted the base there in blue because with a triangular pyramid, there's actually 4 triangles and it gets a little confusing. So the pyramid at the bottom that is highlighted is the area that you're finding for the big B, 1/2 times base times height. And then the light blue height there is the height of the actual pyramid itself. And then the cone is 1/3 times pi. Remember that when we're using pi, we want to use the actual pi button or 3.1415926, and then multiplied by the height. Also, remember when you're working with a cone that radius is squared, so we have to do that first. Now, with all 3 of these, pyramid, and cone, we have to multiply by 1/3. Do not simply put 0.33 or 0.333 in your calculator. What 1/3 means is really divide by 3 at the end. So that's what I'm going to do on these 3 examples down here. So for the first one, we have a square pyramid. So I know I'm going to take 1/3 and I'm going to multiply it by my base, which is 7, times my other base, which is 7, because again, I'm telling you it's a square pyramid versus a rectangular pyramid. If it's a rectangular pyramid, they will write down what each side is. And then the height itself is 12. So what I'm going to do in my calculator is I'm actually going to multiply 7 times 12 first. So that gives me 588. And then when I'm multiplying by 1/3, that's the same as actually taking 588 over 1 times 1/3, or 588 divided by 3. By 3. Okay, so now I'm going to press my division, divide by 3, and that gives me 196. And in this case, we're talking about inches, and that will be cubed. So that is my answer for that first square pyramid. My second pyramid here is a triangular pyramid. So again, I'm doing my 1/3 times, remember that my base is actually a triangle, this one down here. So I know that my height of it is 2 and my base is 8. So 1/2 times base times height, that's 8 times 2, and then times the actual height of the entire pyramid itself. Remember that the 1/2 times base times height pertains to the area of the triangle. That is the big B. So when I take 1/2, remembering from yesterday, 0.5, times 8 times 2 times 10, I end up getting 80. So I'm taking 1/3 times 80. Remember that when I multiply by 1/3, that's the same as dividing by 3. So if you look to the right there, in my calculator, I put divide by 3, and that gives me 26.67 centimeters cubed. And that is my actual answer because I am going to round to the second decimal place or the hundredths. My last and final shape here is the cone. So cone is 1/3 times pi times my radius squared times height. So I'm going to write it as 1/3 times pi times my radius, which is 22 squared, times 27. Now, if this were a diameter, meaning that the line went all the way across my actual circle or my base of my cone, I would have to remember to divide that by 2. But in this case, I do have it only halfway across, so I only need to do it that way. So now I'm going to zoom in here so I have a little more space to write. 1/3 times pi and then I'm going to do 22 squared, and that gives me 484 times 27. So multiply by 27 and then multiply by pi. So this ends up giving me 1/3 times 41054.33. Okay, so I'm going to take that 41,054.33, again, rounding to the nearest hundredth. I'm going to divide it by 3 because, again, multiplying by 1/3 is dividing by 3. So my final answer is 13,684.78 millimeters, and I'm going to have to put it as cubed. And we are all done with today's lesson. Not too bad. Remember, you can always pause, rewind, do whatever you need to do in order to get this completed for yourself. Remember that today is a Spiral Day, so you do need to go onto Canvas and complete the Spiral 13 quiz, or you can do a digital copy. If you decide to do a digital copy, just email it to me directly. Remember that what my email is, laura_irvin@noble.k12.in.us. Again, if you aren't able to do that, try to message me and I will get back to you. Lastly, if you have any questions or concerns about yesterday's work, just let me know. There is also, besides the Canvas quiz on Spiral 13, please make sure that you complete the pyramid and cone practice. There's only 6 problems, and underneath it, remember that there are the answers. And I hope you have a great day. I look forward to hearing from all of you. Thanks. Bye.